In a world overwhelmed by challenges, distractions, and chaos, many people find themselves searching for balance and clarity. Imagine a philosophy so powerful that it has stood the test of time for over 2 millennia. This philosophy is Stoicism, an ancient Greek school of thought that offers practical guidance for navigating life's complexities. But what exactly is Stoicism, and how can it transform our modern world? Originating in Athens around the early 3rd century BC, Stoicism has been the guiding light for many influential figures throughout history, including emperors, soldiers, and scholars. Central to Stoicism is the belief that while we may not control external events, we can control our responses to them. This idea resonates strongly in today's fast-paced society, where stress and unpredictable situations abound. The foundational Stoic thinkers, Zeno of Citium, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, offered insights that are not only relevant in their time but even more so today. Their teachings focus on virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. For the Stoics, the path to a good life lies in aligning one's actions with these virtues, leading to a serene and fulfilled existence. A stark reminder of Stoic principles comes from a remarkable historical figure, Emperor Marcus Aurelius. During times of pestilence and military unrest, he penned his thoughts in a series of personal writings known as meditations. These reflections encapsulate the essence of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing the importance of maintaining inner peace amidst external turmoil. His insights have inspired countless individuals to take responsibility for their thoughts and emotions instead of succumbing to chaos. But how do we apply these teachings today? Research shows that practicing Stoic techniques can lead to improved mental health and resilience. Studies indicate that individuals who adopt Stoic mindfulness report lower levels of anxiety and depression, demonstrating the practical benefits of these ancient teachings. The first step in embracing Stoicism in modern life is to comprehend its fundamental tenets. These principles can serve as a powerful foundation for self-improvement and emotional regulation. In our increasingly unpredictable world, the ancient wisdom of the Stoics reminds us that we have the power to choose our attitudes and reactions. This revelation could be a game-changer, influencing not just personal growth, but also interactions with others in our everyday lives. As we explore further, we'll uncover how ordinary people, just like you, have utilized these Stoic principles to overcome adversity and lead a more purposeful life. From athletes to entrepreneurs, their stories reveal a universal truth: resilience can be cultivated, and inner peace is attainable through mindful practice of Stoicism. Are you ready to explore how this ancient wisdom can help you conquer the storms of modern life? Let's dive deeper into the core principles of Stoicism and understand how they can reshape our perspectives today. At the heart of Stoicism lies a framework composed of several core principles that can guide individuals toward a more balanced, fulfilling life. Let's break these down, starting with the dichotomy of control. The dichotomy of control is perhaps the most essential teaching of Stoicism. It distinguishes between what is within our control and what lies outside of it. According to Epictetus, one of the central figures in Stoic philosophy, our thoughts, intentions, and actions are under our influence, while external events, the opinions of others, and circumstances are not. This realization can lead to a significant reduction in stress and anxiety. Imagine facing a job interview. You can prepare thoroughly, research the company, practice your answers, and present yourself confidently. However, despite doing everything right, the outcome is ultimately beyond your control. Recognizing this allows you to focus on the preparation itself, easing the pressure and fostering a sense of peace irrespective of the result. Another pillar of Stoicism is the concept of virtue as the highest good. For the Stoics, living virtuously is synonymous with living well. The four cardinal virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, serve as a moral compass. Each of these virtues plays a role in guiding our actions and decisions, creating a framework for ethical living. Consider the virtue of courage. Stoicism teaches that courage is not merely the absence of fear but the ability to act rightly despite that fear. This principle has inspired many individuals to confront their fears, whether in personal life, professional challenges, or societal injustices. The Stoic philosopher Seneca emphasized that bravery is the mark of a great mind. This mindset empowers individuals to push through adversity and emerge stronger. Justice, another key virtue, highlights the importance of fairness and respect for others. In a society where self-interest often prevails, Stoicism reminds us to prioritize collective well-being. Consider the example of a manager who values transparency and fairness in workplace policies. By applying the Stoic virtue of justice, they not only earn their team's respect but also cultivate a harmonious work environment, enhancing overall productivity. Temperance, the fourth virtue, pertains to self-control and moderation. In a world rife with excess, whether it's food, technology, or social media, this principle teaches us that true fulfillment comes from moderation. Embracing temperance allows individuals to make healthier choices, leading to improved well-being and quality of life. These principles, grounded in ancient wisdom, provide a roadmap for navigating modern life. When faced with challenges, we can return to the Stoic virtues as a gauge for our responses. Whether it's a personal struggle, a professional setback, or broader societal issues, the teachings of Stoicism empower us to transcend our immediate circumstances. As we continue this exploration, we'll delve deeper into how these principles are not just theoretical constructs but practical tools that can foster resilience and personal growth in everyday life. Are you ready to discover how Stoicism can pave the way for a more vibrant existence? Let's continue our journey into the realm of Stoicism. In our fast-paced and often chaotic lives, emotional resilience is more important than ever. Stoicism emerges as a powerful ally in nurturing this resilience. By applying Stoic techniques, we can better manage our emotions, navigate challenges, and cultivate a more stable emotional state. Emotional resilience is defined as the ability to adapt to stress and adversity successfully. A study published in the Journal of Happiness Studies revealed that individuals who practice Stoic principles report higher levels of emotional resilience compared to those who do not. One particularly effective Stoic technique for developing resilience is negative visualization. This involves contemplating potential negative outcomes, not to dwell in despair but to prepare mentally and appreciate what we have. Imagine preparing for a big life event, like a wedding or an important presentation. By visualizing potential mishaps, you become more equipped to handle unforeseen issues, thus reducing anxiety and enhancing focus. Another key aspect of Stoicism is the practice of mindfulness. In the early 21st century, psychologists began emphasizing mindfulness as a means to improve mental health. Stoicism, with its focus on self-awareness and present-moment attention, aligns perfectly with this modern approach. By becoming more mindful, individuals can observe their thoughts and emotions without judgment, stabilizing their emotional responses to stressors. A study conducted by the University of Massachusetts found that mindfulness practice significantly reduced anxiety among participants, showcasing the profound benefits of such techniques. Furthermore, the Stoic practice of reframing challenges as opportunities for growth can revolutionize one's emotional landscape. Consider a situation where you face a job loss. Instead of viewing it purely as a setback, the Stoic mindset encourages you to see it as a chance to explore new opportunities or career paths that you may not have previously considered. By shifting your perspective, you can transform adversity into a catalyst for personal growth, fostering resilience in the process. The Stoic statement, "The obstacle is the way," echoes this principle beautifully. It reminds us that within every challenge lies the potential for transformation and learning. Renowned psychologist Angela Duckworth has discussed this concept extensively, emphasizing the importance of grit, our ability to persevere through challenges. To illustrate this point, let's consider the story of Thomas Edison, who is quintessentially representative of resilience. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His unwavering mindset allowed him to transform failures into lessons, ultimately leading to groundbreaking inventions. As we navigate our own lives, adopting a Stoic approach can help cultivate emotional resilience, enabling us to bounce back from setbacks and embrace change with open arms. But how do we consistently apply these principles in daily practice? Join me as we explore practical exercises rooted in Stoic philosophy that can foster emotional resilience and equip us to face the inevitable challenges of life head-on. Applying Stoic principles in your daily life doesn't require extensive philosophical training. Rather, it involves adopting simple yet powerful techniques that can transform your perspective. Let's explore some practical Stoic exercises that can enhance your emotional well-being and decision-making skills. One of the most effective Stoic practices is journaling. This isn't merely a record of daily events, it's a tool for reflection and self-examination. Renowned Stoics like Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of journal writing as a means to clarify thoughts and align actions with values. A study conducted by clinical psychologists found that individuals who engage in reflective journaling experience greater emotional clarity and improved mental health. Consider starting each day with a short journaling session. You might reflect on your goals, set your intentions, or contemplate the challenges you anticipate. This practice allows you to articulate your thoughts and engage with them intentionally, rather than allowing your emotions to control you. Another powerful technique is the Stoic practice of morning and evening reflections. In the morning, take a moment to prepare yourself for the day ahead. Visualize the challenges you might face and remind yourself of your capacity to respond virtuously. At the end of the day, reflect on your actions and decisions, considering where you succeeded and where you could improve. This cyclical approach deepens self-awareness and helps refine your character over time. Gratitude is another vital Stoic exercise. Practicing gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we possess, enhancing our emotional resilience. Every night, consider listing 3 things you are grateful for. This can range from personal achievements to simple pleasures. Research has shown that practicing gratitude increases overall happiness and life satisfaction. A unique Stoic practice is the view from above. This mental exercise encourages you to step back and observe your life from a broader perspective. Imagine looking down at your existence from a bird's-eye view, acknowledging the impermanence of life and the vastness of the universe. This technique can foster a sense of humility and perspective, helping you to appreciate the present moment while remembering that both triumphs and tribulations are transient. Lastly, consider the practice of voluntary discomfort. This Stoic technique encourages individuals to face discomfort intentionally, whether that's taking a cold shower, fasting, or simplifying your lifestyle. This builds resilience and helps you cultivate appreciation for the comforts you have. In these chaotic times, embracing these exercises can provide a profound sense of control and clarity. By incorporating simple Stoic practices into your everyday routine, you, too, can navigate the complexities of modern life with confidence and purpose. As we prepare for the next chapter, I invite you to reflect on how these techniques can fit into your life. Can you envision adopting these practices to become your best self? In today's fast-paced, ever-changing world, challenges seem to come at us from all directions. From social media pressures to economic instability, modern life throws numerous obstacles our way. But how does Stoic philosophy hold up against these contemporary trials? The Stoics, including noteworthy figures like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, faced their own battles, often amidst war, loss, and societal tumult. They crafted their teachings not just for their time but for all of humanity's enduring struggles. One of the most remarkable aspects of Stoicism is its universal applicability. Take, for example, the concept of amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This idea encourages us to embrace our circumstances, regardless of whether they are favorable or not. It's about recognizing that we can't change every situation we encounter, but we can change our reaction to it. In 2020, during the global pandemic, many felt overwhelmed by isolation and uncertainty. Yet, those who practiced Stoic principles found strength in acceptance, adapting their lives to new realities. They reminded themselves of Marcus Aurelius's words, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This adaptability is particularly vital in a world where mental health issues are on the rise. According to the World Health Organization, anxiety and depression have surged during recent years. By implementing Stoic techniques such as negative visualization, individuals can prepare mentally for potential hardships. Instead of fearing the worst, they learn to face possibilities head-on, alleviating fear and anxiety. Additionally, let's dive deep into the paradox of control, a core tenet of Stoicism. Stoics teach us that we should only focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. This lesson is pivotal in the age of social media, where we're bombarded with opinions and outcomes that are beyond our influence. This principle can not only reduce stress but also enhance our productivity. By concentrating our efforts on our reactions and actions, we free ourselves from the burden of external pressures. A vivid example of this is the story of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist. In his book, In recent years, mental health awareness has surged, and with it, the exploration of various philosophical teachings aimed at improving our mental well-being. Among these, Stoic philosophy stands out as a beacon of wisdom. But how exactly can ancient teachings influence our modern understanding of mental health? To grasp this connection, we must delve into the Stoic views on emotions, well-being, and the power of acceptance. One of the foundational aspects of Stoicism is the idea that we must differentiate between what is within our control and what is not. This principle is encapsulated in the famous dichotomy of control, articulated by Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher. Epictetus taught that much of our suffering arises not from external events themselves but from our perceptions and reactions to these events. For instance, consider the modern epidemic of anxiety. According to the World Health Organization, anxiety disorders affect approximately 264 million people globally. The Stoics would argue that much of this anxiety stems from our attempts to control the uncontrollable, like the actions of others, global events, or even our own past decisions. Instead, they would encourage us to refocus on our own thoughts and behaviors. This shift in focus can lead to a powerful sense of empowerment. Take the example of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. He faced numerous crises during his reign, including wars, a devastating plague, and personal betrayals. Yet, he remained grounded in his Stoic practices, often penning thoughts in his journals, which we now know as meditations. In these writings, he reflected on his ability to control his responses, reminding himself that external chaos does not dictate his internal peace. Furthermore, research has shown the therapeutic benefits of Stoic practices such as mindfulness and cognitive reframing, which are integral to cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT emphasizes identifying negative thought patterns and replacing them with more constructive ones, a principle that resonates deeply with Stoic teachings. A study published in the Journal of Behavioral Therapy and Experimental Psychiatry found that individuals who practiced mindfulness, a key Stoic technique, reported significant reductions in anxiety and depression symptoms. Another critical aspect of Stoicism's impact on mental health is the practice of negative visualization. This technique involves imagining the loss of things we cherish, be it relationships, health, or material possessions, not as an exercise in pessimism but as a means of appreciating what we have. This approach can foster gratitude and resilience, enabling individuals to cope with the inevitable losses life presents. By accepting the impermanence of life, we become less attached and more equipped to navigate through pain. In conclusion, the profound impact of Stoicism on mental health is undeniable. By embracing its tenets, we learn to cultivate resilience, develop emotional intelligence, and most importantly, discover the peace that lies within ourselves. As we continue to explore Stoicism and its techniques, we can uncover not just a philosophy but a toolkit for thriving in a chaotic world. What might we uncover next on our journey through Stoicism's transformative power? As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, social media has become an omnipresent force in our lives. Amidst the allure of likes, shares, and follows, Stoicism presents a refreshing antidote to the anxiety and negativity that often arise from our digital interactions. But how can we apply Stoic principles in an age dominated by social validation and comparison? Let's explore this significant challenge. First, we need to understand the nature of social media and its psychological effects. According to a study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, limiting social media use can lead to significant reductions in feelings of loneliness and depression. The Stoics would likely agree that our sense of self-worth should not hinge on the fluctuating opinions of others. In their view, true self-esteem comes from within, cultivated through virtuous living and self-discipline. Seneca, one of the leading Stoic philosophers, famously said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This quote could not be more relevant in a world where we curate our lives for public consumption. The constant barrage of images showcasing others' successes can trigger feelings of inadequacy. Yet, the Stoics remind us that these comparisons are often misleading. Behind every perfectly timed photo lies the unseen struggles and challenges that we all face. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." The practice of self-reflection is paramount in countering the negative effects of social media. Regularly assessing our values and priorities allows us to recognize when we are falling into the trap of comparison. By asking ourselves whether our actions align with our values, we can reclaim our sense of agency and steer clear of the emotional roller coaster driven by social media dynamics. Moreover, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of community and relationships. In a digital age, we often confuse online interactions with genuine connections. The Stoics taught that our relationships should be cultivated through virtue, trust, and authenticity. Using social media as a tool to enhance face-to-face interactions can lead to more meaningful connections. This means engaging thoughtfully rather than passively scrolling, prioritizing quality over quantity. Additionally, the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort can provide a counterbalance to the comforts of digital life. By intentionally stepping away from our devices and engaging in offline activities, we can cultivate resilience and appreciation for the present moment. Studies show that spending time in nature can significantly improve mood and mental well-being. The Stoics understood the importance of a balanced life, advocating for a connection with nature and the world around us, which can often be overshadowed by our screens. In conclusion, the intersection of Stoicism and social media presents both challenges and opportunities. By applying Stoic principles, such as focusing on what we can control, fostering real relationships, and engaging in self-reflection, we can navigate the digital landscape with a renewed sense of purpose. As we strive to embody the Stoic mindset, we can create a healthier relationship with social media, transforming it from a source of anxiety into a tool for growth and connection. What other modern dilemmas might Stoicism help us tackle? Philosophy can often feel abstract, a lofty ideal reserved for grand discussions. Yet, Stoicism is fundamentally about action and application in our daily lives. So, how can we integrate Stoicism into our everyday routines to foster mindfulness, resilience, and personal growth? Let's explore practical approaches to becoming an everyday Stoic. One of the first steps in embodying Stoic philosophy is to start each day with intention. A practice that many Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, adopted was to begin their mornings with a moment of reflection. This could involve considering the challenges they might face throughout the day and mentally preparing to respond with virtue. By doing so, we set a positive tone for the day, grounding ourselves in purpose rather than getting swept away by the busyness of life. Additionally, embracing the Stoic practice of the premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, can be beneficial. This technique involves visualizing potential setbacks or challenges we may encounter, allowing us to accept these possibilities without becoming overwhelmed. For instance, if you know you have a stressful meeting ahead, envision the worst-case scenarios and mentally prepare responses. This not only helps to alleviate anxiety but also empowers us to act with composure when faced with real challenges. Another essential aspect of the Stoic practice is gratitude. While it might seem simple, expressing gratitude daily can dramatically shift our perspective. Seneca taught that gratitude is a virtue that leads to emotional well-being. One effective method is to end each day by reflecting on 3 things you are grateful for. This not only helps cultivate a positive mindset but also reinforces our connection to what truly matters in life. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to practice moderation and self-control in our choices. In a world filled with temptations, from food to social media, it can be all too easy to lose sight of our goals. By implementing micro-habits that promote self-discipline, such as limited screen time or mindful eating, we can stay aligned with our values. The Stoics believed in the power of habit in shaping character, and these small changes can lead to profound transformations over time. Lastly, it's essential to cultivate a community of like-minded individuals who support and challenge you. Engaging with fellow Stoics, whether through local groups or online forums, can provide encouragement and accountability. The shared journey of learning and applying Stoicism creates a sense of belonging and reinforces our commitment to living by Stoic principles. In conclusion, integrating Stoicism into our everyday routines is a powerful way to cultivate resilience, mindfulness, and personal growth. By starting each day with intention, embracing premeditation, practicing gratitude, exercising self-control, and fostering community, we can become everyday Stoics. As we continue our exploration of Stoicism, we will uncover the profound impact this philosophy can have on our lives. What other areas of life shall we examine through the lens of Stoicism? In an age where stress seems omnipresent, the teachings of ancient Stoics offer a beacon of hope. Imagine facing each day with the resilience of a soldier, calm amidst the chaos, empowered by a philosophy that has stood the test of time. How did the Stoics manage their stress, and what can we learn from them to combat the pressures of modern life? To understand how Stoicism aids in managing stress, we first need to unpack a key tenet, the dichotomy of control. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what they could control and letting go of what they could not. This foundational principle can be the antidote to the anxiety that often arises from trying to manage every aspect of our tumultuous lives. For instance, let's consider the life of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a prominent Stoic philosopher. He faced immense pressures, waging wars, plagues, and political intrigue. In his private writings, now known as the Meditations, he often reflected on the nature of stress and adversity. One such passage states, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His ability to focus on his reactions, rather than uncontrollable external circumstances, was not merely philosophical but practical, fostering resilience amid trials. Now, think about how this approach plays out in your own life. When stress from work, relationships, or financial pressure seems overwhelming, the Stoic response encourages you to pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what can I control here? For a working professional, this might mean focusing on meeting deadlines and improving personal skills instead of fretting over office politics or the unpredictable actions of others. Research supports the efficacy of this approach. A study by the American Psychological Association found that individuals who can differentiate between controllable and uncontrollable stressors report lower levels of anxiety. By applying Stoicism, people can learn to redirect their thoughts toward positive action, rather than spiraling into anxiety about the future. Let's delve deeper into practical techniques for harnessing the Stoic philosophy to manage stress. One effective method is negative visualization, intentionally imagining loss to appreciate what you have. This idea, proposed by Seneca, the 1st-century Stoic philosopher, can shift your perspective from a place of lack to abundance. Imagine waking up one day and losing your job. Envisioning this possibility encourages gratitude for your current employment and helps reduce worry about potential job loss. This simple technique, rooted in Stoic philosophy, can serve as a powerful stress reduction tool in your arsenal. Additionally, embracing mindfulness can further enhance the Stoic practice of managing stress. Engaging in meditation or mindful breathing can anchor your thoughts in the present, creating a space where stress loses its grip. Research shows mindfulness practices can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, leading to a calmer and more resilient mindset. In summary, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism equips us with tools to manage stress effectively. By focusing on what we can control, employing techniques like negative visualization, and incorporating mindfulness into our routines, we can navigate our chaotic world with greater ease and clarity. As we move forward, consider how these Stoic practices can be integrated into your life, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. But what happens when we face our deepest fears? How can Stoicism prepare us for the inevitable confrontations that life throws our way? When we think about personal relationships, the complexities can be overwhelming. Stoicism, however, provides a framework for establishing strong and meaningful connections with others. How can ancient wisdom guide us in the modern landscape of friendships, family ties, and romantic partnerships? At the heart of Stoicism lies the understanding of human nature and the importance of community. The Stoics believed that we are social beings, meant to interact and form bonds with one another. In fact, Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, famously stated, "We are all interconnected, and our lives are woven together." In practicing Stoicism, one essential principle involves managing expectations. Often, our relationships falter because we expect others to behave in ways that align with our desires. But Stoics remind us that every individual has their own perceptions, histories, and motivations. This recognition can alleviate resentment and disappointment, fostering healthier interactions. Consider a common scenario: a friend cancels plans at the last minute. Instead of feeling angry or rejected, a Stoic response would invite reflection. Why did they cancel? What pressures might they be facing? This shift in perspective allows for empathy, fostering a more robust relationship. Moreover, the Stoics emphasize the concept of amor fati, which translates to love of fate. By accepting the circumstances of our relationships, including conflicts and imperfections, we create an environment where love and friendship can flourish. Imagine embracing a friend's flaws as part of their unique character rather than a source of frustration. This acceptance reduces friction and allows for deeper connections built on understanding and compassion. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology reinforces this notion. Researchers found that individuals who practiced acceptance in relationships reported higher levels of satisfaction and lower levels of conflict. By employing Stoicism in our interactions, we pave the way for stronger, more resilient bonds that can withstand the tests of time. Let's explore how the Stoics approached conflict resolution, a common challenge in any relationship. In their teachings, the Stoics advocated for calmness and reason, advising that we should avoid reacting in the heat of the moment. Instead, practice pause, reflect, and then respond thoughtfully. Practicing active listening, where we focus fully on the other person's words, can also transform potential disagreements into constructive conversations. Consider a couple facing a disagreement. Instead of raising voices and exchanging hurtful remarks, a Stoic approach would involve taking a moment to breathe, fostering an environment where both parties can express their feelings without hostility. This method draws from the Stoic practice of viewing oneself as an equal participant in the relationship, rather than positioning oneself as superior or burdened. Additionally, the Stoics taught about the importance of gratitude within relationships. Practicing gratitude fosters appreciation for one another, strengthening connections. By taking the time to express genuine appreciation for your partner or friend, you reinforce bonds that contribute to deeper emotional security. In summary, the Stoic approach to relationships empowers us to build stronger connections by managing expectations, practicing acceptance, and fostering open communication. Understanding our interdependence, embracing imperfections, and cultivating gratitude can transform our social interactions into meaningful experiences. But as we strengthen our connections, how do we maintain our individuality without losing ourselves in the process? As we look toward the future, one question emerges: what lessons can we carry forward from Stoicism to ensure a resilient and meaningful existence? The legacy of Stoicism extends far beyond the pages of ancient texts. It offers a roadmap for navigating the complexities of life in the modern world. What makes Stoicism relevant today, and how can we imbue its teachings into the lives of future generations? The core principles of Stoicism, focusing on what we can control, practicing virtue, and accepting the impermanence of life, serve as invaluable tools for today's youth. Consider the pressures faced by adolescents in an era dominated by social media and performance expectations. The constant comparison, the relentless pursuit of perfection, often leads to anxiety and depression. By introducing Stoic concepts in schools, we equip the next generation with essential skills for emotional resilience. Incorporating Stoic teachings into educational curricula can provide students with the mental tools necessary to thrive. For instance, emotional intelligence education can teach young individuals to differentiate between thoughts and feelings, helping them cultivate the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Programs focusing on mindfulness, inspired by Stoic practices, can empower students to develop a stronger sense of self-awareness, enhancing their overall well-being. Now, let's consider real-world implementations of Stoicism in modern educational settings. For example, some schools in the United States have integrated mindfulness practices inspired by Stoic thought into their daily routines. In these programs, students are taught techniques such as breathing exercises, reflective journaling, and ways to manage their emotional responses. A study published in Frontiers in Psychology showed that students participating in such programs experienced reductions in anxiety and stress levels, demonstrating the potential impact of Stoic principles in daily life. But Stoicism doesn't just benefit individuals, it has the power to strengthen communities. By fostering a culture of understanding and acceptance, we create environments where individuals feel emotionally supported, reducing issues such as bullying and interpersonal conflicts. Teaching the next generation to embrace diversity and practice empathy, rooted in Stoic philosophy, can cultivate a more compassionate society. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to engage in our communities actively. The Stoics believed that we owe a duty to our fellow beings. Imagine instilling this sense of responsibility in young minds. Teaching them to volunteer, participate in community discussions, or advocate for social justice can create leaders who embody the Stoic virtues of courage, justice, and wisdom. As we look to the future, we also need to prepare the upcoming generation for the uncertainties of life. Stoicism teaches us to accept the inevitability of change and loss. By helping young people build their coping mechanisms through Stoic practices, we can raise a generation that confronts challenges with resilience and grace. For instance, resilience training programs that draw from Stoic philosophy can empower youth to navigate failures, encouraging them to learn and grow amid adversity. In summary, the legacy of Stoicism is one of profound significance for our future. By integrating Stoic teachings into education and community practices, we can equip future generations to face the uncertainties of life with resilience, empathy, and strength. As we reflect on the teachings of the Stoics, consider how you can apply these principles not only in your life but in the lives of those around you, shaping a world enriched by Stoic wisdom. The journey of understanding Stoicism is continuous, and as we embrace its teachings, what new challenges will arise, and how will we meet them with courage? Failure is a word that carries immense weight in our lives. It creates fear, drives us to second-guess our choices, and often leads to a paralyzing sense of inadequacy. But what if failure is not something to be dreaded, but rather embraced? In the realm of Stoic philosophy, failure is not the end of the road, it's merely a step in our journey of self-improvement. One of the most prominent Stoics, Epictetus, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This idea encapsulates the Stoic approach to failure. Rather than viewing setbacks as insurmountable obstacles, Stoics see them as opportunities for growth. Imagine Thomas Edison, who, after countless failed attempts to invent the light bulb, proclaimed, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings. Edison's resilience in the face of repeated failure eventually led to unprecedented innovation. In the modern context, consider the story of J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series. Before achieving monumental success, Rowling faced numerous rejections from publishers and battled severe personal hardships. Yet, through her perseverance, she channeled her struggles into her writing, ultimately creating a global phenomenon. This parallels the Stoic principle of memento mori, or remembering mortality. By acknowledging that life is fleeting, we can shift our priorities and view failure through a lens of acceptance. We learn to appreciate the lessons failure teaches us rather than fixating on the disappointment it brings. When we fail, we have two choices: to wallow in despair or to rise up and learn. However, to truly embrace failure in a Stoic way, we must practice self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote in his Meditations about the importance of examining oneself. He advised that every day should start with a reflection on past actions. By asking ourselves critical questions, what did I do well today? What could I improve? We foster a growth mindset. As we grow through failure, we cultivate resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, and it's a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Each failure we encounter can, if approached with the right mindset, contribute to our personal evolution. Think of it as a muscle that, when exercised, grows stronger. In today's fast-paced world, the fear of failure often paralyzes individuals. Young entrepreneurs hesitate to pursue their dreams, fearing the backlash of failure. However, if they were to adopt a Stoic perspective, they would understand that every great achievement is built on the ashes of past failures. Incorporating this Stoic perspective on failure into our lives means reprogramming the way we think about setbacks. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" we should ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" This shift in mindset is essential for anyone striving for personal growth. So the next time you face failure, remember it's not the end. It's a stepping stone on your path to success. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it guide you towards becoming the best version of yourself. This Stoic perspective can transform your outlook, helping you to thrive in the face of adversity. The world is a chaotic place, filled with unpredictability, uncertainty, and challenges that often feel beyond our control. In the face of such turmoil, the Stoic philosophy offers a powerful antidote: the art of acceptance. At its core, acceptance is about recognizing the limits of our control and finding peace in the midst of life's storms. Stoics like Seneca taught that we should focus our energy on what we can influence while accepting what we cannot. This fundamental principle is not only liberating but essential for our mental well-being. Consider the story of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. During his harrowing time in concentration camps, Frankl observed that those who were able to find meaning in their suffering were more likely to survive. He famously said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This encapsulates the essence of Stoic acceptance. In a modern context, think about how we respond to situations like the COVID-19 pandemic. For many, the initial response was anger and disbelief. But those who embraced acceptance found a way to adapt, to work from home, to nurture relationships online, and to think creatively in the face of adversity. Acceptance does not mean passivity. Instead, it's an active engagement with our circumstances. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control reminds us to differentiate between what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, and what is not, external events and other people's opinions. When we focus on the former, we empower ourselves to act wisely and ethically, regardless of circumstances. For instance, when faced with criticism, a Stoic would reflect on their values and intentions rather than get entangled in the opinion of others. The power lies in understanding that we cannot control how others perceive us, but we can control our reaction to that perception. Furthermore, acceptance can enhance our emotional resilience. Studies show that individuals who practice acceptance are generally more resilient and better at coping with stress. One study in particular found that acceptance-based interventions significantly reduced anxiety and depression in participants. Learning to accept reality does not mean we stop striving for improvement, rather, it equips us with the mental fortitude to pursue our goals even when faced with setbacks. The Stoic practice of negative visualization, imagining loss or misfortune, works as a preventive mechanism against future pain. By anticipating possible challenges, we train ourselves to accept unanticipated difficulties when they arise. This technique fosters gratitude for the present and cultivates a mindset prepared for adversity. Acceptance also plays a vital role in our relationships. It encourages us to let go of unrealistic expectations and to embrace people as they are. This aspect of acceptance fosters deeper connections built on mutual understanding, rather than on the shifting sands of perfectionism. In conclusion, the art of acceptance is essential for living a fulfilling life amidst uncertainty. By acknowledging what we cannot control, we can channel our energies into what we can, our actions, our growth, and our responses. Practice acceptance as a daily habit, and you will find yourself navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. Gratitude is an emotion that's often easy to overlook in our fast-paced lives. Yet, it has enormous potential to enhance our happiness and well-being. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate gratitude as a crucial practice for leading a fulfilling life. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This powerful reminder encourages us to wake up with a sense of appreciation for the world around us. But how can we actively cultivate gratitude in our daily lives? The first step involves mindfulness, being present and acknowledging the simple joys we often take for granted. Stoics understood the importance of reflection in recognizing the abundance in our lives. Keeping a gratitude journal can be an effective tool. By writing down a few things you are grateful for at the end of each day, you train your mind to focus on the positive. This practice reprograms your thinking patterns, shifting your focus away from what you lack towards what you have. Research supports the benefits of gratitude. Numerous studies have demonstrated that individuals who regularly practice gratitude report higher levels of happiness and lower levels of depression. One study led by Robert Emmons found that participants who kept gratitude journals experienced increased well-being and life satisfaction. This aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings, where fostering an appreciative mindset contributes to a tranquil inner life. Another essential Stoic practice related to gratitude is the concept of amor fati, or love of fate. This is about embracing everything that happens to us, both the good and the bad. Instead of wishing for different circumstances, we learn to accept our fate and find reasons to be grateful for it. This perspective encourages us to see challenges as opportunities for growth, reinforcing the belief that every experience holds value. The philosopher Seneca also emphasized the importance of appreciating what we have. He remarked, "We often suffer more in imagination than in reality." By focusing on our perceived shortcomings, we diminish our capacity for gratitude. Remembering that many people struggle with significant hardships can amplify our appreciation for the blessings we often overlook. Moreover, expressing gratitude towards others fosters stronger relationships. Acknowledging the kindness of friends, family, or co-workers builds connection, promoting a sense of belonging. This strengthens our social bonds, reinforcing the Stoic principle that we are all part of a larger community. In practicing gratitude, we also develop resilience against life's hardships. Gratitude creates a buffer against stress by allowing us to see the silver linings in challenging situations. It empowers us to navigate adversity with a positive mindset. Imagine facing a challenging work project. Rather than stressing about the obstacles, recognizing that it's an opportunity to grow and learn can transform your approach. In conclusion, cultivating gratitude is a transformative practice aligned with Stoic philosophy. By embracing the privilege of existence, recognizing the gifts in our lives, and expressing appreciation toward others, we can enhance our overall happiness and resilience. Incorporate gratitude into your daily routine, and experience the bounty of joy it brings. This practice is not merely an exercise, it is a way of life that empowers us to navigate our journey with a sense of fulfillment. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, it's a comprehensive toolkit for navigating the complexities of modern life. At its core, Stoicism offers practical techniques that can help us lead more fulfilled and resilient lives. Let's delve into some essential Stoic practices that you can easily integrate into your daily routine. The first technique is daily reflection. Many Stoics, including the famous philosopher Marcus Aurelius, maintain journals to reflect on their thoughts and actions. This practice allows us to critically assess our day, learn from our mistakes, and reinforce our values. By dedicating just a few minutes each evening to write down what went well, what didn't, and how we reacted, we begin to cultivate a more mindful approach to our lives. For example, a study published in the Journal of Happiness Studies found that individuals who regularly engage in reflective journaling report higher levels of emotional well-being. This simple yet powerful technique can help reduce anxiety and create a sense of clarity amid chaos. Another fundamental practice is the premeditation of evils, or premeditatio malorum. This Stoic exercise involves envisioning potential challenges or setbacks before they occur. Picture yourself preparing for a difficult conversation with a colleague. Visualize how you might feel and how you can respond calmly despite potential conflict. When you confront the situation, you're not taken off guard. Instead, you've already trained your mind to deal with discomfort. In a similar vein, research indicates that mental contrasting, thinking about potential obstacles while also envisioning your goals, can enhance motivation and resilience. This technique equips you with a proactive mindset, preparing you to face life's uncertainties with strength. Of course, we cannot discuss Stoicism without addressing mindfulness. Mindfulness is a contemporary buzzword, but its roots can be traced back to Stoic philosophy. Being present and accepting the current moment aligns perfectly with the Stoic concept of focusing solely on what we can control. You might incorporate mindfulness into your morning ritual. Perhaps you spend a few moments in silence, concentrating on your breathing. This practice can ground you, allowing you to start the day with clarity and intention. Studies indicate that mindfulness not only reduces stress but also increases overall life satisfaction. An intriguing aspect of Stoicism is how it encourages viewing challenges as opportunities. This reframing technique can be powerful when navigating hardships. Picture someone facing a job loss. Instead of perceiving it as a catastrophe, a Stoic approach would encourage you to see it as a chance to explore new paths or develop new skills. Psychology supports this concept. Research shows that cognitive reframing enhances problem-solving abilities and emotional resilience. Finally, let's talk about gratitude. While often associated with positive psychology, gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic thought. Each day, Stoics advise taking time to acknowledge what we have rather than lamenting what we do not. This practice not only enriches our perspective but also builds emotional resilience. A study from the University of California demonstrated that people who practice gratitude regularly report lower levels of depression and increased life satisfaction. This reinforces the Stoic belief that happiness comes from within and is cultivated through our mindset and appreciation of life's gifts. As you implement these practices, remember that Stoicism is a lifelong journey. As you craft your own toolkit, adapt these techniques to fit your lifestyle. What might your personal Stoic practices look like? Will you start reflecting, visualizing, practicing mindfulness, or expressing gratitude? These tools don't just help you survive the challenges of life, they can empower you to thrive. The journey doesn't end here. We'll explore how Stoicism can transform our understanding of success and achievement next. The wisdom of Stoicism resonates deeply within the fabric of contemporary leadership and decision-making. As modern leaders face unprecedented challenges, many are turning to this ancient philosophy for guidance. Let's unpack how Stoicism informs leadership styles and decision-making processes today. One of the notable figures in the business world who embodies Stoic principles is Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associates, one of the world's largest hedge funds. Dalio advocates for radical transparency and open dialogue within his company, creating an environment where employees feel safe to express divergent opinions. He believes that truth and transparency lead to better decision-making, a sentiment rooted in Stoic philosophy. Dalio emphasizes the importance of facing unpleasant truths. In his book Principles, he writes, "Pain plus reflection equals progress." This mirrors the Stoic idea that challenges can be transformed into learning experiences. The Stoics taught that it is our perception of events, rather than the events themselves, that shapes our experience. Dalio's approach to learning from failure reflects this Stoic perspective, demonstrating how effective leaders embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Another modern leader who has drawn upon Stoic wisdom is Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. Under his leadership, Microsoft underwent a cultural transformation, emphasizing empathy and inclusion, akin to the Stoic practice of understanding different perspectives. Nadella's focus on a growth mindset, encouraging employees to view challenges as opportunities to learn, aligns perfectly with Stoic tenets. In Hit Refresh, he discusses how a forward-thinking mindset is crucial in fostering innovation. In fact, research has shown that leaders who adopt a growth mindset promote higher performance rates among their teams. This correlation highlights how Stoicism's teachings directly influence the dynamics of effective leadership, especially in fostering resilience and adaptability. Another compelling story comes from the world of sports. Athletes like Tom Brady exemplify Stoic principles in their relentless pursuit of excellence. Brady often mentions his focus on the process rather than the outcome. This Stoic detachment from results allows him to maintain composure in high-pressure situations. A study from the Journal of Sports Psychology indicates that elite athletes who adopt a process-oriented mindset experience lower levels of performance anxiety and improved focus. The Stoic concept of concentrating on what we can control is crucial here, as it fosters a sense of agency amid uncertainty. Brady's ability to handle adversity, whether it's a last-minute game or personal setbacks, aligns with the Stoic belief that how we respond to adversity shapes our character. The teachings of Stoicism have not only influenced his performance but have also inspired countless athletes striving for excellence in their own pursuits. Looking beyond individual achievements, Stoicism's emphasis on community and interconnectedness is relevant to modern organizations. The Stoics believe that we all play a part in a larger whole. This notion is echoed in companies that adopt a collaborative culture, where teamwork and shared values guide collective success. Organizations that embrace Stoic principles foster a sense of belonging and purpose among employees, leading to higher job satisfaction and retention rates. As such, these companies are better equipped to navigate the complexities of the modern marketplace. In essence, revisiting ancient wisdom illuminates a path for modern leaders. As they face challenges and navigate uncertainties, Stoic principles provide a framework for resilience, adaptability, and ethical decision-making. This philosophy encourages leaders to reflect on their values, confront uncomfortable truths, and embrace challenges as integral components of growth. What lessons can you take from these Stoic practices to apply in your own journey? As we shift our focus from leadership, we'll explore the Stoic perspective on personal fulfillment and the pursuit of happiness in contemporary life next. In our modern society, the pursuit of happiness can often feel like an elusive quest, with countless distractions and societal pressures steering us off course. However, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers a profound perspective on finding true fulfillment. Let's explore how Stoic philosophy can guide us in our pursuit of happiness amidst life's uncertainties. At the heart of Stoicism is the understanding that happiness is derived from within, an internal state rather than an external condition. The Stoics believed that our thoughts and perceptions shape our reality, meaning that by altering our mindset, we can profoundly